Some residents of Kombat, owned by businessman Knowledge Katti, are not happy with their, what do you call him? Their mayor, I suppose. Some controversy surrounds the amount he purchased the town for, with some saying he bought it for $11, and other reports claim that he paid some 50 million Namibian dollars to buy the mining town of Kombat. I spoke to Kombat resident Magdalena Petrus.
We really don't know. The community doesn't know how Katti bought Kombat, how did he sell to Kombat. What I can tell you in short that Katti came to Kombat 2015, whereby he just visited the school the day one. When he visited school, he was just talking about, I will just come to Kombat and we are going to develop the town of Kombat together with the community. In short, that is what he said. Actually, to tell us that Katti bought Kombat, we don't know. Why we are unhappy? Because of the attitude towards the community, the way he is approaching the community, with gritty attitude towards the community. He is just boasting his rich, and he has the power to evict anybody in Kombat. He is threatening people individually to evict them out from their houses. Then is where the community realized that Katti is not a person who can build the community. Katti is not a person who can develop Kombat. What he is aiming is, or considered in his life, is just only money. And then that's why that Katti is disrespect the community. It doesn't have that, how can I put that attitude to say, let me humble myself with the society which I find in this area. That's why the community are unhappy with him. What they want is Katti must go back to that of where he came from. The community seriously will tell you that community is very angry. They just want the government to come and intervene. And they put one point that if the government cannot intervene before election, whether ECN for registration, they will not enter Kombat. Voting that time, they will not vote. That is why, that is the aiming of the community. If government is not intervening in Kombat, that our vote will not make any change. But we will show that we are angry. No registration of ECN or official in Kombat. And even though there's nothing, but the community is still pursuing this situation to reach the justice. We want justice in Kombat. We were trying extra effort. Even our lawyer Bernard Swartborn, he tried to talk to him. He did not respond.
I reached out to Knowledge Katti on Twitter to get his side of the story, and this is how our conversation went. Hi, would like you to comment on a story I'm running on residents of Kombat who say they refuse to allow the ECN officials into Kombat unless government intervenes to remove you from the town. They also allege that they have tried to engage you, but you're not forthcoming. Please let me know how I can contact you should you wish to respond. Then he wrote, didn't you already run a story trying to paint a bad picture with lies you've been fed or the agenda you had in the name of journalism, sweetie? So I said, hence my need to give you an opportunity to respond. And then he said, opportunity? No, honey, I'm the one who will give you an opportunity if I decide to give it to you. In the meantime, run your stories because you have make a living from it, honey. Red heart. Stay tuned for my stories. Red heart. Then he typed for a few minutes and then edited his initial response, this time with no honey in uppercase, and then if in uppercase, and then in uppercase typed, have to make your living from your stories, so go ahead, sweet, 2 black fists, and stay tuned for real stories, red heart.